There is a reason beach houses feel different from other places. They hold memories in a way ordinary houses do not. Every summer, every family gathering, every late night on the porch with the sound of waves coming through the screen door. You have been coming here your whole life. You know this place. You trust this place. That is exactly what makes it so easy for something to hide inside it. Tonight I'm going to share 3 stories with you. 3 people, 3 beach houses, 3 nights that started like any other. None of them ended that way. It was a strange, hollow period of my life. I had just graduated college, finished a full semester early, which had felt like a victory when I was buried in assignments. But once I actually had all that free time in front of me, I had no idea what to do with it. My job did not start until June. Most of my friends were still deep in finals. The days were long and empty and quiet. I am someone who needs to be moving, needs to be useful. Sitting still while time slipped past was slowly eating me alive. So when my mom asked if I could drive down to check on my Uncle Rick's beach house in Rehoboth Beach, check for leaks, run through the maintenance list, handle the small things so Rick did not have to hire someone, I said yes before she finished the sentence. Something to do, somewhere to be. The house was enormous. The kind of place that comfortably holds 25 people every summer, cousins, parents, grandparents, noise and laughter in every room. When I arrived that afternoon, it was completely silent. You know that feeling standing in a place that is only ever full of people and finding it utterly empty? The silence does not feel like peace. It feels like absence, like something has been removed from the air itself. I moved through Rick's checklist, faucets, breakers, windows, the property outside. Everything was fine. But being there alone felt wrong in a way I could not name or explain. It was getting dark. I hate driving at night. I texted my mom, told her I would sleep over and head back in the morning. I took the master bedroom on the 2nd floor, private bathroom, walk-in closet. The most comfortable bed in the house. Around midnight I fell asleep. I do not know what time it was when something woke me. A sound from inside the closet, like something had shifted. Something had fallen. I turned my head slowly toward the closet door. My heart was already pounding. My mind was wide awake. But my body would not move. I told myself it was nothing. The house settling, a box on a shelf finally giving way. Then the sound came again, a muffled thump, deliberate, too close. And then sleep paralysis, real, complete, total sleep paralysis. My body locked like a door being bolted from the outside. I could not turn over. Could not sit up. Could barely move my eyes. I lay there completely still as the closet door slowly creaked open. Through barely opened eyes, a dark figure stepped out. It crossed the room. It stood beside my bed, still watching me, not moving, not speaking. Just standing there in the dark beside me while I could do nothing. I do not know how long it stayed, 20 seconds. Maybe a full minute. Time stops meaning anything in a moment like that. Then it turned and walked out of the room. I waited for footsteps going toward the stairs, toward the front door, toward a way out of the house. They went up to the 3rd floor. There is no exit on the 3rd floor. The moment feeling returned to my body, I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, whispering that someone was in the house with me. I locked the bedroom door, pressed my back against the wall, waited. Red and blue lights filled the windows within minutes. Officers moved through the house, then came back and told me it was empty. I could not accept that. Uncle Rick called from out of state and demanded they search again, properly this time, every room, every floor. On the 2nd search, they found it. A 3rd floor window, unlocked, open just enough. One officer stepped onto the back deck and swept his flashlight up toward the roofline. And there he was, a bald man in filthy, tattered clothing. Sitting on the roof, completely still. They brought him down in handcuffs. The police believed he was homeless, likely squatting in that house for days, possibly longer, before I ever arrived. When they asked him how he had gotten in and why he had been hiding in the closet, he said nothing, just stared. I still do not know how long he had been there. I still do not know how many nights he had slept in that house before I walked through the door. But one thought has stayed with me above all the others. My usual bedroom is on the third floor, the floor where he had been hiding. If I had slept in my own room that night might have ended very differently. My friend Mike inherited a beach house on the Jersey Shore from his grandparents. Beautiful property. Generations of family memories built into every wall. His grandparents had lived there full-time for decades. Now it mostly sat empty through the long off-season, locked up, dark, waiting. One weekend in July, Mike invited me down. The first night was easy, a long walk on the beach. Fishing off the back deck, the kind of slow, quiet evening that makes you forget every problem you have ever had. The second night, we went to bed early. Sometime after midnight, something pulled me out of a dead sleep. A sound, sharp, piercing, steady, like a smoke detector screaming from somewhere above us. But it was not coming from our floor. It was coming from the third floor. Mike and I ran upstairs. No smoke, no fire, no smell. Nothing visibly wrong. The hallway was dark and still. But in one of the bedrooms, under a pillow on the bed, was a small black device. No screen, no brand name, no label of any kind. Just a single blinking red light. And a switch. I flipped the switch. The sound stopped. Mike and I stood there in the silence staring at this thing in my hand. Neither of us had ever seen it before. Neither of us had any idea what it was or where it had come from. Then something occurred to me. I flipped the switch again. The alarm went off instantly. The only way to activate that device was to do it by hand, manually, on purpose. Someone had turned it on. Someone had hidden it under that pillow. Someone had been in this house. We called the police. When the officers searched the third floor, what they found stopped them mid-sentence. Every window on that floor thrown wide open. Both beds overturned, mattresses off the frames. Every drawer pulled out and emptied across the floor. The entire room torn apart. I had walked through that same floor earlier that same evening to check the windows. Everything had been untouched, perfectly normal. Whatever happened in that room, it happened while Mike and I were sleeping 20 feet below it. The police found no one. No fingerprints, no footprints, no trace of any person. We left first thing in the morning without finishing packing. We just left. I have thought about that device many times since then. Someone brought it to that house. Someone hid it carefully under a pillow. Someone turned it on while we slept below them. And when the alarm went off and brought us upstairs, was that a warning? Or were they making sure we would come up? I still do not have an answer, and honestly, I am not sure I want one. I was 22 years old, staying at my friend Lindsay's beach house for a long weekend with 3 other friends. The kind of trip you look forward to for weeks. On the second night, the 5 of us were walking along the private beach after dark when we came across 3 men heading the other direction. They were friendly, easy to talk to, normal in every way I could see. We stopped, talked, drank with them on the beach for about an hour. Then they invited us back to their place. I was tired. Something in me, nothing dramatic, no alarm, just a quiet pull toward sleep, made me say goodnight. I walked back to the house alone. Lindsay, Thea, and Sabrina went with the 3 men. Just after 3 in the morning, my phone lit up on the nightstand. Lindsay, FaceTime, I answered. She was screaming. Thea and Sabrina had been taken. She had managed to run. She was hiding somewhere in the dark. She did not know the address. She did not know how far she had gone. I was out of bed and dressed before she finished the sentence. I grabbed her car keys. She stayed on the phone with the police and with me at the same time, telling me which direction the car had gone, what it looked like, how far ahead it might be. I drove faster than I have ever driven in my life. Every dark stretch of beach road, every empty intersection, every turn, just me, the headlights, and a phone I was terrified would go silent, and then I saw it. An SUV, matching exactly what Lindsay had described. I called 911, kept my distance. Followed blue and red lights appeared ahead. The police were already converging. They pulled the SUV to the shoulder. The men did not run. Officers approached with weapons drawn, removed all 3 from the vehicle. Then one officer moved to the back of the SUV and opened the trunk. Thea and Sabrina were inside, bound, bruised, alive. The house the men had told my friends they were taking them to did not belong to them. It belonged to an elderly couple away on vacation, completely out of the country. All three men received long prison sentences. But I still think about that moment on the beach. The easy laughter, the way the conversation flowed, the way nothing at all felt wrong. Three men who looked exactly like everyone else. And I think about the small, quiet decision I made to go home, not a heroic moment. Not a gut feeling I can explain, just I was tired, just I wanted my bed. A feeling so small you almost do not notice it. The kind you almost ignore. 3 beach houses. 3 nights that began like all the others. The ocean sounds the same no matter what is happening on the shore. The waves come in. The waves go out, steady, unhurried, whether everything is fine, or whether something is very, very wrong. So the next time you settle into a beach house for the night, a place you know, a place you love, a place that has always felt safe, check the closet before you sleep. Look under the pillow, and think carefully about who is walking beside you on that dark stretch of beach, because the most dangerous nights are always the ones that feel just like the rest. If these stories stayed with you tonight, you are not alone. These are real accounts from real people. People who went to sleep feeling safe and woke up to something they will never forget. If you want more stories like these, true accounts, real places, real fear, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second. And it tells me that you want more. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new story. New videos go up every week, and every single one is something you will not be able to stop thinking about. And in the comments below, tell me which of these 3 stories scared you the most. Was it the man who had been hiding in that beach house for days before anyone arrived? Was it the mysterious device hidden under the pillow, and the question of who put it there? Or was it the trunk? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if you have your own story, something that happened to you, something you have never fully been able to explain, tell me, because the best horror stories are the ones that actually happened. Stay safe out there, lock your doors, and whatever you do, check the closet.